foremost, Power dropped last night and bitches was already fucking posting spoilers. So fuck everybody that was doing the motherfucking spoilers. I don't understand why people feel the need to do that. Like, that's so fucked up. Like, everybody knows that we've been waiting this whole time. What up? It's Besa. Hopefully you guys can see me. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm wearing a hat because I'm probably gonna work out right after I do this goddamn video. Your girl is just trying to be productive in 2020. Okay. Now we're gonna talk about a few things that's been going on. First and foremost, I have so many skin insecurities, okay? So let's just start out with talking about that. Right now I'm not wearing any makeup because my skin is hella dry. I've been using this Clinique acne system. I've been talking about it on air. I've been talking about it on Instagram, and it's definitely clearing up my skin. The fucking problem, okay? The problem is the simple fact that it's drying out my skin to the point where if I put on moisturizer, I guess my skin is so fucking sensitive that I put on moisturizer. That's my dog snoring. My skin is so dry now that when I put on moisturizer or something, I get all these little white bumps, and it's like I'm putting things on my face that I typically would put on my face before. So I made an appointment at a dermatologist. Well, I'm gonna make the appointment on Monday because they're not open on weekends, to go get an assessment to figure out what the fuck is going on around here. I don't know about you guys. I'm not trying to have fucked up skin in this new decade. I'm not even trying to have fucked up skin this month. I have so many freaking things to do to where people have to look at me, and I would rather not have my skin looking like shit. Like, honestly, at this point in my life, I don't have a lot of physical insecurities aside from my fucking skin. Like, hyperpigmentation is some bullshit. Acne is some bullshit. I think somebody said I have like acidic acne or some shit like that, where it basically grows under the skin to where you can't really just pop it. I don't even remember what the fuck I was saying because my dog is damn near battling with me and her fucking snoring. I'm about to move her ass somewhere because ain't nobody got time for this shit. Yeah, I don't really remember what I was saying. Either way, my biggest insecurities right now happens to be my skin. This hyperpigmentation, this acne. I think someone said I have like acidic acne or some shit like that. I don't know. It basically means that the acne grows under the fucking skin, which is why it's so goddamn hard for me to get rid of the shit. So we're gonna go to a dermatologist and have them help my ass out. You know, it's so crazy when people are like, oh yeah, I can just wash my face and I don't have to do anything. Well, great, you're blessed. I don't have those options. I literally have to fight with my skin. I have eczema. I'm lightweight allergic to sunlight, so in the summertime when it's super sunny outside, I'll get literally sheets of pimples if I'm not wearing, you know, sunscreen and shit like that. And on top of that, I have this horrible ass acne. I didn't have acne like this a couple years ago. I don't know what happened after I turned 27, but as I went from 27 to 28, 29, it's just been getting worse and worse and worse, which is fucking ridiculous because my skin was fine when I was in high school. Anyways, let's talk about some of the shit that's been going on. First and foremost, child, I think we're going to war, alright? I know that there's been like a lot of little funny ass memes going around about the whole war thing. And don't get me wrong, I've laughed at a few of the goddamn memes. However, this is some serious ass shit. I'm gonna put some photos in here, but there's literally thousands of troops right now being sent over there because of the shit that you know who done decided to do. Here's my thing. I went on the Shade Room the other day, and there was this beef with 50 Cent and somebody else. I don't remember who. But I know I dropped the comment because in 50 Cent's reply, it was like basically a photoshopped photo of him kissing Eminem, I think. He said something, 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 power comes back in 3 days. And I was like, all I care about is power drops in 3 days. I got some responses underneath that comment where it was like, yeah girl, me too, whoop whoop whoop. But then you got these other motherfuckers that want to pop up talking about, oh my god, we're going to war. There isn't going to be any power in 3 days. First and foremost, Power dropped last night and bitches was already fucking posting spoilers. So fuck everybody that was doing the motherfucking spoilers. I don't understand why people feel the need to do that. Like, that's so fucked up. Like, everybody knows that we've been waiting this whole time to find out what the fuck happened, and you motherfuckers want to go online and start posting what the fuck happened. Like, you are some fucking bum ass bitches. Anybody that did that shit is a bum ass bitch, and obviously has too much fucking time on their goddamn hands. Because let's be frank, the shit didn't really drop until today. So you were that anxious to watch it on a freaking Saturday night to go on there and tell everybody what happened? Like, fuck you. Anyways, I'm gonna watch it a little later on today. I'm just gonna ignore all the bum ass spoilers, and I'm still gonna get my goddamn life and figure out who the fuck shot Ghost and if he died. Somebody posted a spoiler that he didn't die, and I'm pretty sure we all know that he didn't die. My thing is, who the fuck did it and why? So we gonna figure that shit out. DaBaby. Oh, DaBaby. Why y'all keep fucking with DaBaby, okay? So basically, he was in Miami. And while he was in Miami, he got arrested for a robbery. Now, in this particular case, he wasn't necessarily arrested for the robbery. He was actually arrested because his people that were around him did a robbery, and they wanted to take him in and question him to figure out what the fuck was going on. Alright, I guess while he was in there, they started going through his records, which is what I hear happens. I've never been arrested. I don't want to get arrested. I try to keep my nose clean, mind my goddamn business, so shit like that doesn't happen to me. I am not built for that shit, okay? Like, it's just not for me. And I'm not necessarily saying that jail is for fucking anybody. Don't go in my comments talking stupid. But what I'm saying is some people can handle it a lot better than others. Like, I don't like fighting. I don't like arguing. Like, I just like to mind my goddamn business. I'm a chill ass person. And from what I've heard, that's not the type of person that you're able to be in prison or jail. And it literally changes you. So, you know what? I'm gonna just play a news clip. How about that?
In court Friday, he had this to say.
I got $250,000 in the hotel. I need my lawyer to go get it.
And shortly after he faced a judge in that case,
Good morning, Mr. Kirk.
he was back in court after it was discovered he had a warrant out for his arrest for a different case in Dallas, Texas.
And the charge is engaging in organized criminal activity.
For now, he'll remain behind bars at TGK until he's extradited and resolves his local case here in South Florida.
Right now, the warrant from Texas says no bond, and that's how I'm holding
What
it.
I heard, this judge either had to sentence her sister or she ended up having to sentence someone that she dated. I can't really remember. But at the end of the day, DaBaby is still locked up, last I checked. From the looks of it, or at least shall I say from the sounds of it, he's going to be in there until Texas comes up there to pick him up, being that he already had a warrant in Texas, and they weren't even holding him on this robbery that happened. They're holding him because of what happened in Texas. I don't know why he was fighting somebody at the airport, but he was. You know, once you guys become celebrities, I need you to realize that TMZ isn't fucking with y'all like that. Y'all, everybody wants to be on TMZ until they get on TMZ doing some fuck shit, alright? At the end of the day, TMZ literally obtained the video, and then they put the video up, and we're all like, oh damn, that's DaBaby. But you have to realize, the cops are gonna use this shit as evidence. So if the cops were looking at it and they couldn't tell if it was DaBaby, now you got this red arrow going bing, and it's the fucking baby. Child. I don't understand why. I don't know what happened at that airport, but what I do know is in Miami, the reason why they got in that fight is because the promoter apparently was supposed to pay him $30,000. They only gave him $20,000, and they was like, give us our motherfucking money. We gonna fuck your ass up. Now, there's another layer to this. Apparently, the promoter is going to sue DaBaby, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Now, and aside from that, you know, his crew, from what I've seen, are not getting any flack from the justice system, if you will. If anything, what's happening is he's the one that's getting all the flack, but that's how it always is. You know, a lot of people are saying the reason why Juice WRLD took those pills. I don't know Juice WRLD personally, so don't come at me if you know him. And I say that because I know people out here in Seattle that actually know him personally. Yeah. A lot of people were saying the reason why he took those pills is because he didn't want to go to jail. He had so much weed on there. He had so many pills on there to where he was like, I'm not going down, because at the end of the day, like I said, they don't really give a shit about the crew. They want to take in the rapper to make a fucking point, because you take in the rapper, now all of a sudden you got all of their little fans that are doing the same shit. They're like, maybe I don't want to do that anymore. So unfortunately for DaBaby, I feel like he's just being used as another example. But at the same time, I don't necessarily think he's gonna get the leniency that he would for like a Tekashi 6ix9ine, who apparently is getting out in like June or July. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Get my damn notes. Surviving R.Kelly, The Reckoning. Child, let me tell you something. That shit put me through some PTSD that don't even make no goddamn sense. Everybody knows we all have our own past lives. I've done some things that I'm not necessarily the most proud of, but I'll definitely talk about them eventually. But what I will say is that I've definitely dated someone that was mentally and physically abusive, And just hearing those girls' stories just literally gave me major PTSD as to why, you know, people are like, why don't you say anything? Why do you stay? Why do you still care about this person? The mental fuck up that you get from dating someone that literally builds you up just so they can break you down, right? It's like the hairdresser, right? I don't know if you guys actually watched it, but you should. I mean, it's interesting. It kept my fucking attention. There was a hairdresser. Apparently, when she first started doing his hair, she didn't have a lot of confidence. I guess after she started doing his hair, her family would actually let her finish sentences because they were like, oh, she made it. Which is really fucked up in the black community. You know, a lot of the times, African Americans, especially if you're darker skinned like myself, if not darker, they don't really give a shit what the fuck you have to say, especially if you're not really quote unquote doing something for yourself. A lot of times, African Americans will only give you certain respect, and I mean like your relatives, they'll give you that extra respect when you quote unquote make it. All of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, this person's doing this person's doing that, and now all of a sudden everybody want to be nice to you, but nobody wanted to just treat you like a normal human being when you were just minding your goddamn business. This woman said that her family would actually let her finish sentences because she made it, because she was doing a celebrity's hair, when unfortunately she would take this long ass ride to him only for $100 to braid his hair. I want to say she said she had like, what, 3 kids? So she would pay the babysitter $20 per kid. Her cab ride was $20, which means she basically would take home $20 to go do this man's hair, just so that she could say that she does R.Kelly's hair and have that extra clout, if you will, which made it to where she was able to gain more customers. But the shit that she had to deal with makes it to where it's almost not worth it. But she stayed because apparently she would talk with him and he would give her confidence and be like, and what she said actually really struck a chord with me. She was like, he told me things about myself. Basically, he gave her so much confidence that she didn't have before, that when he finally broke her confidence, because she felt like, you know, he trusts me, I have all this loyalty to him, and when she broke his loyalty, it damn near broke her. At that point, she wanted to do anything and everything to get back in his good graces. So when she finally was back in his good graces, that is when he ended up making her, I don't know if he made her give him head or not, but I know he spit on her face and ejaculated on her. That's the, I talked about this a while ago. I might put it in another little clip.
On February 18, 2003, at 865 North Larrabee Street in Chicago, Cook County, Illinois, the victim was 24 years old and worked as a hairdresser for Robert Kelly. While the victim was waiting alone in a room for Robert Kelly to come in so she could braid his hair, Robert Kelly entered saying he didn't want his hair braided that day. He wanted his head massaged. At the time he said this, Robert Kelly had his pants pulled down and he was pointing to his penis. Robert Kelly grabbed the victim by the head and tried to force her mouth onto his exposed penis, but the victim was able to resist. Robert Kelly then masturbated and ejaculated onto the victim and spit in her face several times. The shirt the victim was wearing was submitted to the Illinois State Police for DNA testing, and the semen was identified on the shirt. The male DNA identified in the semen sample is a match to Robert Kelly's DNA profile.
So for me, it's just one of those things where it's like, even when I think about the dude that I was dating, I still unfortunately care about him. If something bad were to happen, I wouldn't necessarily have a breakdown, but I really would like be affected by it a little bit, and it would probably bother me way more than people think it should bother me, but it would. It really would. It's a really weird connection that you end up having to someone that is physically and mentally abusive to yourself, to where you have to, fuck, I hate getting emotional about this shit, but you basically have to take yourself out of the situation, whether you want to or not. You have to take yourself out of the situation whether you like it or not, which doesn't mean that you're ready to leave, because you want this person to be normal, you want them to care about you, but obviously they're fucked up in the head, so they do their shit anyways. So So then in order for you to regain a part of yourself, because staying, you instantly lose yourself. Once it goes left, it goes left. Like, once they start abusing you mentally and physically, it's a done. This is what the fuck it is. This is what's happening. This is where you're at. This is your new reality. It is what the fuck it is. So, you know, for someone like myself, when I watch these things and then I hear people being like, oh, they're lying, why didn't they just leave? It's not that fucking easy, you bitch. Like, people that have never been abused mentally or physically crack me up with that shit, because it's like, if you've been there, you would know. On that note, I'm gonna wipe my goddamn face and move on to another subject. In my other video, somebody asked me about my hair. I think I got this from VP Beauty. I'll put the link in the description. So apparently some boy ended up swallowing one of his Apple AirPods. Look, let me tell you something. First and foremost, this little boy was 7 years old. I don't understand parents buying their kids shit like this. I don't have kids. So, you know, I'm not telling you what the fuck to do with your goddamn money, but you see what happens when you spend that kind of money on a 7-year-old. They fucking swallow it. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't get your kids electronics. I just think we should be a little smarter about it. Yeah, it's cool to have AirPods, but I have some Motorola Bluetooths that are basically like AirPods, but they're black. And I ended up losing one of them for like 3 months. I'm a grown-ass woman, and I still lost one of them goddamn things. So I don't understand why you would think a 7-year-old, 1, won't lose it, and 2, won't somehow swallow it. I guess they took him to the doctors, obviously. Doctor does an x-ray, the little AirPod was in there, and they basically told him, it'll come out within 3 days, so let's hope the AirPod actually comes out of his ass, and they turn the Bluetooth off of his goddamn phone. The Coachella lineup came out. I've never been to Coachella. I hear it's just an event for rich ass people, but yo, if you got a voucher, you want to take my ass with you, I'm definitely willing to pull up. I saw Megan Thee Stallion's on there, City Girls, Big Sean, YB and Cordae, Travis Scott, Roddy Ricch, Lil Nas X, 21 Savage, DaBaby if they let his ass out. Look, I'm here for it. I'm here. Oh, and Frank Ocean. Although he owes us some new fucking music, I'm still mad at Rihanna. This girl gonna sit up here and drop a whole goddamn Valentine's Day Fenty line, but don't wanna fucking give us no goddamn music. Rihanna, you playing. You playing. You playing. The fuck? We got war going on and you wanna give us some freaking lingerie. Girl, if you don't give us some music so we can be distracted for a moment, shit. You know what I find interesting? People's fascination with Lori Harvey.
I got Lori Harvey on my wish list.
That girl is gorgeous, first and foremost. People are always up in arms about if Steve Harvey is or isn't her real dad. I've heard people arguing, saying that it's a rumor that that's not her real dad. I've never looked that much into it because it's not my goddamn dad, so fuck do I care for. However, rumor has it that Lori Harvey was over in, I want to say, Nigeria with Future, hanging out. I don't know how the Shade Room does it, but basically there was a photo of Future over in Nigeria, and he had on like these, I want to say it's like white shoes with black laces. I don't know, I'll put in a picture. And then Lori Harvey takes a photo in a bathroom, and you can see the shoes in the background, and so everyone's like, oh yep, they're definitely down there together. And then a couple days later we see this goddamn photo of all these dudes that basically have some connection with Lori Harvey, just whooping it up, having a good ass time. I don't know how guys are able to do this shit, but women could never. They could never. Unless you're that type of girl that's just getting money from these niggas, and in that particular case you could give a shit. Ha! Now shout out to Washington State. If I'm not mistaken, we have passed a new law that you actually have to be 21 years old in order to buy tobacco. First and foremost, I don't even know why you guys are still smoking that shit, okay? And that includes with weed. Whenever people are like, oh, you want to smoke, and I'm like, well, what are you smoking? You know, I'm about to smoke a blunt. Now when you say a blunt, are you talking about a blunt with like tobacco blunt, or are we talking pre-rolls here, okay? Because, you know, I don't really do the whole, I don't roll my own weed like that anymore. If I'm not buying a pre-roll, I have went and bought raw papers, which is literally a paper that you can stuff your weed with, for those of you that don't fucking smoke weed. And I'll stuff it that way. I don't do the whole tobacco thing. It cracks me up when people that smoke weed are like, oh, you smoke cigarettes, you smoke cigarettes. You're smoking weed wrapped in tobacco. Like, the fuck is wrong with you guys? It's just as bad. But Seattle has made it to where you have to be 21 years old in order to buy tobacco. So that way 18-year-olds in high school aren't fucking bringing cigarettes to school, which is apparently what's been happening around here. Personally, I just wish that they would stop selling the tobacco altogether, but that would be like, oh, stop selling guns, you know. So we're not gonna do that because we make too much money off of this shit. If you ask me, they really shouldn't be selling tobacco, period. Like, it has poisoning literally in it. It literally kills you. And we have more battles over shit, like, we have more battles in this society over things that don't harm you. Like weed, like, don't nobody have no goddamn problems on weed. You gonna take a nap. You don't understand, mind you. I don't know what I was just saying. My camera just freaking cut off again. But basically what I'm saying is, we have so many arguments about things like weed when weed don't do shit but make me hungry and put me in a good ass mood to be able to deal with people on an average goddamn day. Then we do with cigarettes. You gotta go around the corner to smoke your freaking weed, but yet you can sit here and blow that stanky ass tobacco smoke all in my fucking face. Like, no shade to anyone that smokes cigarettes, but it got to the point where I had to stop dating dudes that smoke cigarettes because I don't like the smell. It stinks. Like, once you stop smoking them, because at one point I did smoke cigarettes. Once I stopped, now when I smell it, I'm just like, yo. No, you can't get in my car smelling that like that. No, you can't get in my car and smoke that. You can smoke weed in my car, but you're not smoking no fucking tobacco in my car. I don't want to smell it. I don't even want you smoking a blunt that is tobacco rolled in my freaking car. I don't like it. People are like, oh, well, why don't you smoke backwoods? Because they're fucking sticky. Like, I've never smoked a backwood that I didn't feel was wet and overly just licked. Bah. Let me check my phone and see if anything else has happened. Oh, shit! As of 28 minutes ago, it is currently 11:38 Pacific Standard Time, and DaBaby is out of jail, honey. This motherfucker took his ass right on IG Live. I'm so happy that they let this little man out. Let me tell you something. I don't know DaBaby for shit, but him getting locked up hurt my goddamn feelings. You know, I don't typically care when artists get locked up, but and I don't know anything about this man, but I just really feel like he's trying to do good things. Again, I don't know this man personally. I don't know what he does on a day-to-day basis, but I really do feel like DaBaby is trying to do good things for himself and his community, and people just keep fucking with him. So I'm really happy that, you know, while doing this video, I checked the shade room and I see an IG live of him, and this man is not only out, but he got his $250,000. I bet you he definitely went and got that shit. You go, DaBaby. Apparently Drea was on a date with another NFL player. Who gives a shit? Like, some of the things that get reported on, it's like, let people live. Good God. If you give a shit about Apryl Jones and Little Fizz, apparently they just unfollowed each other. I just seen this on Hollywood on Lock. Neither of them are following each other. I never followed them, so I really wouldn't know too much of what's been going on lately. I don't know, maybe they were doing all that shit for a storyline. A lot of motherfuckers do shit for a check. I saw something where apparently Moniece and Tiffany, if you guys watch Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, you know who the fuck both of them are. Stop playing. They're doing like mukbangs on YouTube, which is basically where you eat food on YouTube and talk. And I guess Tiffany said that she never was really with Little Fizz. I guess they never even had sex. And I guess it was his whole idea to go on marriage boot camp just for a motherfucking check. So. And apparently Gabrielle Union allowed an Uber driver to come into her house, use the bathroom, and he ended up taking a shit. I don't know why that's like major news, but she sent out a tweet about it. Alright, I think that's about it for today's video. I'm really happy that I was able to come on here. I definitely wasn't trying to cry earlier, but fuck it. It's my life and we gonna talk about it on motherfucking YouTube. If you live in Seattle and you know about my Seattle media mixers, I am having another one. This is exclusive info. Hopefully I can get this edited tonight and get it up really, really soon. My next media mixer will be January 16th at Amber Lounge, which is in Seattle. And they're free. I basically give you guys information on different things in media. I just think it's really important to like bring people together that are like myself. That way we can meet up. You know, I have influencers come out. I have YouTubers come out. I have, you know, different artists come out. Radio hosts come out, just anyone that is media. And last time, the last one that I did was in October. I took a break for like 2 months and everybody was DMing me about it constantly, even to where people pulled up in November because they're every third Thursday, because they thought it was gonna be happening, and I was like, no, y'all ain't see no flyers, like what up? But last time it was about how to get sponsorships. This one is going to be about Instagram. And I think next month we might do YouTube. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure. I kind of figure out what topics that I want the classes to be on by what people are talking about after whatever class that we just had. So literally the way it works, if you've never been to one of my Seattle media mixers, is it's a mixer. So different people, anyone that's in media is allowed to come. And even if you're just interested in being in media and you just want to be around dope ass people, pull the fuck up. Within the mixer, I allow people to come out. I allow people to get up, get on the mic, introduce themselves. And there is a panel at some point within the mixer, and we just give out major fucking gems. I'm gonna put in a little clip from last time.
Honestly, at this point, because in the beginning, you know, you might be desperate for sponsorships, but still be picky, man. Be picky. If you don't want to work with them, because when I started with SeatGeek, I worked with them for, I thought it would be 3 months, but it ended up being years.
I feel like this shit goes down all the time in Bellevue, which is a very wealthy area here in Washington State. And I never see things like this being put on by people that look like me. So when I came up with the idea after smoking one day, I decided that, you know what, let's just do this shit. You know, it's 2020. People have been asking about it. I'm excited to do another one, especially with this one being on Instagram, with all the crazy shit that's been going on with Instagram and social media. And I can't wait to see all the people there. So if you're in the Seattle area, definitely pull up. Okay, it's gonna be a schmood. The homie DJ Fresh Pharaoh will be DJing per usual, and I can't wait. Otherwise, I don't really have anything else going on. I don't really have anything else to say. No point in keeping you guys here any longer. If anything else goes down, I'll definitely come back and do another video. Thanks for watching. Shout out to anyone and everyone that has shared it, especially you, Bondi, because I got some new subscribers off of that. What up? And if there's anything else that you guys want me to talk about, definitely drop a comment below. Shoot me a DM. Follow me on IG at Naybesa, Naybesa. I'm Naybesa on all social media platforms, but definitely follow me on Instagram because I keep you guys up to date on everything that's going on. So this video's done, I gotta grab that video of DaBaby and put it in my IG story so that way people know that he's been released. And also check me out on Cube 93.3 Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. If you're not in Seattle, you can listen to it via the iHeartRadio app. Just type in Cube 93.3, and that's Cube K-U-B-E 933. And you can also check out my podcast, Back to Basic Podcast. We're going to be doing new podcast episodes this month. I kind of slowed down on it just because I needed to revamp it and I didn't feel like I was getting enough listens. And I know it's not really about the plays, but sometimes I have my reasons. I have my reasons. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for all of that. Follow me on IG, and I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. Bye!